Well, hello, Wade. Welcome to the Phoenix Portal. Super excited to get to know you a little bit more. And we have a interesting topic today. We're going to talk about AI and really the advanced technological space, which is something learning your story in the medicine garden. I was very just astounded by your very prolific career. And I want to learn more about it and really hear your expertise, your thoughts on the AI revolution we're in, and maybe hopefully find some grounded space in it as we are conscious visionaries at this time. But I'll let you take it from there and please introduce yourself. And thank you again so much for coming on today.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Wade Connor, and I'm currently employed as a CAD engineer, but on the side, I'm developing multiple apps. The one that I'm mainly focused on right now is called Radio Time Machine, and then there's another app that I'm putting a little more of my time in right now, and that's a meditation app where it uses your own voice. So you use AI to, within the app to just clone your voice quickly, and then you can, choose scripts, what type of meditation you want, and then affirmations that would come later. And then this application will play binaural frequencies in the background that can take you through the various states of brain waves to get you in a deep, relaxed state. And so, yeah, I've been playing with it, as a user. My wife's trying it too, and she's not a meditator. So far she's had a good experience with it, and so have I. So I think this is something that will more directly help people that are, coming behind us here in this great awakening. And so, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take a nap soon. But so what struck me about you as a creative entrepreneur, it sounds like you're going to build apps. Can you tell us, what does it take? I know you're an engineer, but to build something in a virtual space, one, how much do you believe we need to have skills in online, any type of software development technology? How much do you think is really necessary for people? Let's say you don't have any skills. What do you think is most approachable for other people who may be listening and may be inspired by your visions in this call today?
That's the beauty I see with AI. For my particular case, I had a strong mechanical and electrical background. And what I was always missing in my life was the code writing part of it, right? I dabbled in it, but I never became an expert or even, proficient in it at all. And so once AI came along, that allowed me to take all these ideas that I've had, I have so many of them over the years, but they just sort of died on the vine because I either didn't have funding or, life's too busy raising a family, or I just didn't have the particular skill set that was necessary for that. And most of the time that was code. And so the beauty of AI is really all you need to do is just sort of think of AI as being a person, right, that you're talking to. And it's an expert in just about everything. And so it just allows anybody to that has an idea or bounce ideas off. And for me, that's the biggest thing. I could have part of an idea, but not really know quite where to go with it. But because AI, I think, is somewhat of a mirror of you, right? It's really like talking to a human being because it gets to know you over time. The other projects that you're working on, it sees the big picture all the time, and so it can really, I just see it as just an amazing tool that anybody with any background, as long as you can, type and or speak to it, you can create something, and it can help you do it. If you need baby steps for a particular something you're working on, all you have to do is say, hey, I'm new to this, give me baby steps, and it'll walk you through step by step on what to do. And so really that just opens it up to anybody with any ability, really. I don't really see much of a limitation. Your audio's, oh yeah.
Yeah, trust me, it needs to be muted. It's cranky to me. So we've talked about before, I feel that it is the divine's intention, God's intention for us to be using AI right now in technology. Even though I'm a pretty eco-conscious person, I can be pretty hippie, organic, granola type, but I've been guided to open my mind, especially since I couldn't have a natural home birth. I had to go to the hospital, and just, living in the middle path in life, choosing the middle road. How sustainable do you think this whole AI revolution is? For me, what I'm downloading is I don't think it's for forever. I think it's a tool for the now, to bridge us to the communities, the people we need, to the intelligence we need, to build upon the intention of divine love. I don't think we've been totally compromised by evil forces, and that's all AI is. It's how you use it, as you're saying. But how sustainable do you think it is? How beneficial do you perceive it to be for the world?
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is a bridge, because as we, everybody's on their own awakening path, right? And so everybody's at a different stage, and eventually when you move, fully into the 5D consciousness, then you have, full access to source energy, your consciousness, and you don't need an external medium, to help you do things, right? So I definitely think it's a bridge, and where the data exactly comes from, I'm not sure, and how reliable it is, but I've seen numbers thrown around that, this bridge, this time where billions of other people are waking up on the planet, is going to last, 5 to 10 years, right? So we still need a bridge to get us between now and there. So AI is going to be useful in that, and then you asked about being a conscious person on this earth with Mother Gaia, and AI does take a lot of resources, electricity, and then how is that electricity being generated? And that's a very valid concern, but I truly believe that there is sources of free energy that are on the horizon for us, and so that's why I'm too worried about that side of things. And people can dig. There's some evidence that this energy already exists, right? We just don't know it, or it's not out in the public sector or visible to everybody. Yeah.
Sorry if we see us struggling.
No, it's okay. You're fine.
But it brings me to the point of, I can build a business right now and be at home with my son, which has always been
yeah, that's so powerful, because you're absolutely right. You can, if you're stuck in an office like I have been most of my career, it's so limiting. You're just in a pigeonhole, and it doesn't allow for any creativity outside, because you come home, you're just trying to survive. And so yeah, I mean, this is what's so great about it is anybody can do this. If you just need a phone, you know, or a small laptop, and you can create.
Exactly. And I believe I am more conscious now of my impact on the earth and sustainable action anyway. The whole intention of becoming an entrepreneur, building my own business was I want to work less, obviously. Are you happy now? I want to work less, but be able to do more. You know, I want to be in control of my energy, my time, so I can, one, be of service to this little guy first.
Right.
And be used by the divine inspiration that's coming through me. So I'm not afraid of AI anymore. Can you share a little bit about the impact of technology on the psyche as you perceive it? We were writing back and forth a little bit, and I mentioned my husband is an English school teacher. Do you have personal fears, just out of curiosity, of the impact of AI on human consciousness, the human psyche, mental health, even?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I've really given those things a lot of depth, just because I'm sort of out of that realm. You're starting a family. You know, my family's grown. I do have two grandchildren that are 9 and 7, and so yeah, it is a concern. You know, but just like any new technology that comes to be, you know, computers came online, right? And then phones were coming into the classroom, and, you know, teachers had to monitor that, make sure they're not cheating or, you know, so I think it's just another thing that's going to have to be sort of figured out and led by people that are in the right positions, right? That are thinking, that are channeling the divine in some way, shape, or form, right? So they know how to integrate this into a classroom, or, you know, keep it out of the classroom. So yeah, there's many things to to consider, that's for sure.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Of, you know, was it the year 2000 when they thought the world was going to end?
Right.
It's probably the same experience in consciousness. I'm, you know, pretty new in this space. At least, you know, I'm 29, so this is my first big awakening and technological revolution. So anyone who feels like the AI is the devil, it's the devil if you bring devil energy into it.
Yeah.
Which is ironic. But I want to go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, and just like any tool, like with a phone, you know, parents need to monitor what their kids are using it for, because, you know, you can, like I kind of touched on before, when I'm really in the zone communicating with AI, working on something, I really don't see it as a machine, right, or a computer. I just see it as an expert, a human on the other side that I just can't see. And so it would be very easy for children or young adults to sort of get caught up in something, whether it's a scam or, you know, so the cell phones and when the internet came on, you know, parents need to be responsible and monitor what's going on, right? And so.
Thank you for bringing that up. What are your thoughts on, you know, the spiritual warfare behind technology? You know, as I get online and I build a public profile, people are trying to hack me every week. People try to scam me, or, you know, they try to build something similar to my identity so they can scam other people from other countries, oftentimes. So to me, technology, it is a weapon. I'm going to be very, very careful with Zion, as if it's a gun, because it can be. And I have been watching or listening on the news sometimes of of kids, falling in love with these fake
Yeah.
chatbots, and like how damaging that could be.
Yeah, it really can, because it's so real, right? Before it was sort of easy to spot fakes. I mean, a 9 or 10 or 12-year-old girl falling in love with what they think is somebody else, or another boy or something, and it turns out it's adult. I mean, there's it, but now it can be so real that they just don't have the I can't think of the word, but they don't have the ability to discern what's real and what's not, and at that stage in their life. And so, yeah, that is scary. I mean, and I don't really have an online presence yet with my businesses. I have in the past, but that was a long time ago. But hackers today are very sophisticated, whether they're just trying to gain money or if they're trying to attack you, personally in some way because of your status in the spiritual world. I know that's very real, because I've been attacked for years. At night in my bed, when I'm trying to sleep, and so yeah, it's very real. So how do you protect yourself? So you're already farther ahead in that regard, in that realm, than I am, but I'm already thinking about using things like Cloudflare and other tools to help at least protect your website, and then maybe look at what other ways you can filter out stuff. But yeah, that I would love to learn from you. Like, what have you learned? What tools did you come across and then employ that maybe slowed down the attacks or something?
Um, it's a slow journey for me. I try not to be paranoid about it all. And even my husband's like, no one's gonna bother you for being on the internet, but you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
Sometimes I can say something that is very outrageous to other cultures or other people in this country too, and they hate me.
yeah,
And to attack, and that's just how it is. People do that stuff. But I treat my website and everything as bank accounts, because it's connected
yeah.
to my business. I change my passwords. I don't share my profiles. I advise clients, don't just hire any freelancer or SEO expert off the internet, because
Right.
you don't know who is who. So that's why, I'm building it for years, a public relationship with people. So I'm a real person. That's an asset. That's a business asset, because it's hard to discern now who is real,
Yeah,
who is not real. Even just making a Facebook profile nowadays, it's hard.
yeah,
I try to make one for another client, and you need it's like it's insane. It's just insane,
yeah.
really.
I've
Social
done that
Security,
too.
your actual documents you're uploading, and you don't know where all this is going. It's
Right.
difficult. Facial recognition, it's
Yeah.
insane, but
And
it's
of course,
awesome.
sorry, the voice cloning, right? You can easily clone somebody's voice just from a
Yeah.
recording or a conversation with them, and so then, yeah, that there's a lot of stuff that it can be used for that's bad, but just like any other thing, we just gotta adapt, right, and do our best.
Who is it? It was Matthew McConaughey who's trademarking his voice or something.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't believe that people have recorded or shared, my voice and things, and someone can clone. And I recognize like a YouTube ad. I'm like, that's another like indie artist on Spotify I heard years ago. That's their voice. I know that voice. So that's scary. All of it
right.
is. And I'm bringing you on. I'm asking you these questions because I know a lot of people, especially women listening to the channel, want to do this work, but they're terrified. They don't want to be in sorry, they don't want to be in wrong relationship with the divine, with God, by using these technologies or getting online. But I'm hoping our conversation helps ground it and helps people see it's just a tool. We don't have to be afraid of it, but use it wisely, but go ahead and use it. And it's proving to me, all these attacks we're talking about, it proves to me I am doing something right. I am building something that is going to not only change my life, but is changing other people's lives. I have something that other people really want to build a platform where it's encouraging, it's engaging, it's genuine. I'm a real person. It's hard to find that sometimes.
Yeah, and one of your previous videos that you posted on YouTube was, touched on that subject. If you're going to do some of this online stuff where, you're trying to help other people, you got to show your face. People do want to see a real person. They don't want to see AI for everything. Some things it's fine, but if you really truly want to get out there and make a real difference with people, you need to connect with them, face to face, so to speak, right? So that people, because I know, because I feel this, right? When I have maybe less than 10 channels that I follow and watch their videos fairly frequently, including yours. But if it was AI, it might have caught my attention once, but I wouldn't have stuck around, right? So I think it's like you've really touched on, is it's really important to be real and not just use AI to throw together quick videos just to get out there, just for the views.
Exactly. Can we go back to your business, your apps that you are developing? I know you mentioned two different ones, the meditation one and radio time machine. How do you believe they will be helpful to the collective who may be watching and to the world? Tell us a
Well,
bit.
the meditation one is fairly easy because, well, in some ways, it's I know there's already a gazillion, meditation apps out there already, but I think, number one, we got millions of people every day, every week, whatever it is, right, that are waking up, including my wife, right? She's sort of takes things that I present here and there, but she's not truly in that stage where she's really curious about things and starting to do things on her own. But so, meditation is, at least for me, was one of the most powerful tools that I started using a few years ago, on a daily basis, that really helped me quiet my mind and away from electronics, right? So that you can get downloads. And so that one, I think, will be a little unique in that it will use your own voice. Now, people could have an argument: is your real voice versus the AI copied voice the same or not? And that's to maybe be determined later with studies. But in general, your subconscious is going to trust your own voice over somebody else's, right? Because it's heard it. um, so and then the binaural additions to this, I know other people do this, but I know it's helped me. So this is sort of more of a side app, right? Where I don't think it's going to take very long to develop it. I've already got the prototype working and stuff. But like we sort of touched in our emails, I haven't built an app itself, something that's dedicated for going on phones or tablets. So that's going to be new territory for me. But then over to Radio Time Machine, you know, I think it's just going to be a very unique gift that somebody could give to somebody and just light up their moment, their day, right? Because it's people always like personalized gifts, and um, and one of the beauties is, like me, I'm a my wife will attest to this. I'm a horrible gift giver. I just, you know, that Christmas comes and I'm the one that's wandering up and down the aisles of some store trying to find something. You know, I'm not good at picking something out ahead of time or picking up cues. And so Radio Time Machine could be one of those things where you could literally at the last minute, you know, give somebody this gift that will make a difference in their lives. And there's going to be other categories, you know, besides birthdays and anniversaries that will touch people in different ways. But I really think it's going to be powerful and have a very positive impact on gift giving. And then it's, you know, and then of course, what we touched on before, the back end is my plan is to share most of the revenue that's generating from these to other programs that will have to come later. We'll have to figure out, you know, a group of people that could determine where the money channels to, and whether it's, you know, to help the homeless problem or, you know, education in different areas. I mean, there's so many areas that we can impact in this world during this transition phase. So, yeah.
When should people be ready for the release? If you know, or at least how can they stay connected with you if you're open to that now, or consult with you? Are you open to anyone if they have any tech questions or advice? Are you open to consulting, or should we just wait for the products to come out? Or
Yeah, I'm open to a degree right now, but my my problem, or not my problem, but you know, we each only have so much time in the day, right? And I've got a mother that I'm taking care of part time, and I'm off work right now, so I have more time. I'm trying to focus that towards these, not only taking care of my mom, but getting these apps out into the public. But yeah, anybody can always contact me. Probably, I mean, you can give them my Gmail address if you want to put that in there. But if it's but you know, I do get a lot of spam from that email. That I try to keep it clean, but I do have another email that's tied to my domain, and that would be wadec, WADEC, at radiotimemachine.ai. And yeah, I just, it's one thing is I don't necessarily have hours and hours and hours to pour into helping other people right now. I hope to get to that stage, because once these things are up and running, you know, I want to play a lot and I want to help other people as well, right? And so but in the meantime, if this inspires somebody to do something, but they need a push or they need some advice on where to start, you know, I'd be glad to help people out, you know. And and I'm, you know, I'm not going to charge for that type of consulting, just trying to give people a leg up, so to speak, to get started, or if they're stuck somewhere where I have experience. I do, like I mentioned, if something, you know, you want to design an actual physical product, and you know, you need CAD work done to design it, and you know, that's my entire professional background is designing things and stuff, so I can help out to a degree there, or at least point you in the right direction. AI isn't going to replace my job quite yet, but I think it's just around the corner. I think in a few years, the models are going to get better and be able to, take a product and design it in CAD so that it can be manufactured. And so, anyway, yeah.
Can you tell us what CAD is?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So it's sort of an old terminology. It's an acronym for computer aided design, and so that came about way back. Back in the day, airplanes and everything were designed with slide rules and on a architect type board, right? They hand drew stuff. At my work, we still are making jet engine parts that were designed back in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, and they were, they're all hand drafted stuff. And so when the computers came onto the scene, that's what differentiated, I guess, back then, the difference between the old standard, which was by hand, and then now with the computers. So it's sort of a broad term, right? You could use computers to design anything, but really when somebody says CAD, they're more talking about specific programs that are used so that you could create solid objects. If I want to design a vacuum cleaner, or just for an example, you would use a CAD program like SolidWorks or NX, and there's a number of, there's even free ones out there nowadays that are pretty good, free CAD. And if anybody's interested in going that route, there's lots of tutorials that if anybody's interested in teaching themselves CAD, it's there. I mean, yeah.
Thank you so much. This little one is late for a nap, but hopefully we'll have you in the medicine gardener on the Phoenix portal again when the apps are being launched. And
Yeah.
Having this conversation, and I hope it at least stimulates some more thought to the innovative, the more engineer-minded people who might be listening. We see you too, and you're being used, and if you're called to create, it is possible. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's fun.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you again soon, and thank you so much. And I'll put more information if you're open to share about who you are in the description box below. So.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah. Bye.